Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Hillary Clinton has come out of hibernation to give the Democrats sage, brilliant political advice on how to avoid the iceberg this coming November. And as you would expect, it's pretty ridiculous. Hillary Clinton suggests the transgender debate should not be a priority for Democrats. Former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton said Democrats should be focused on winning elections and suggested they should not treat the transgender debate as a priority. Clinton made the comments in an extensive interview with the Financial Times published Friday. The reporter pressed Clinton to state her position on some of the issues Democrats have pushed for on the national level that are unpopular among most Americans. Quote, Democrats seem to be going out of their way to lose elections by elevating activist causes, notably the transgender debate, which are relevant only to a small minority. What sense does it make to depict J.K. Rowling as a fascist? The reporter asked. Quote, we are standing on the precipice of losing our democracy, and everything that everybody else cares about then goes out the window, Clinton responded. Look, the most important thing is to win the next election. The alternative is so frightening that whatever does not help you win should not be a priority. So I don't know if Hillary Clinton truly grasps this yet, if she's in denial, or she does know why she lost, or she does know why Democrats have been losing, but she just wants to continue, proposing this nonsense. Democrats are not losing because they're thrusting, distractions or not top priority issues like Republican attacks on transgender people, which are real and Democrats should talk about. Hillary Clinton and Democrats have lost because Republicans like Ron DeSantis, Trump, and a whole host of others are propelling forward culture wars like transgender, LGBTQ, critical race theory, the tyranny of math textbooks in Florida, et cetera, et cetera. And Democrats aren't actually offering an alternative to that, which would be, hey, we're going to actually give you debit cards and refill your debit cards right now with these high gas prices. Or Biden is not coming forward and saying, we're actually going to take away these subsidies from these oil companies that are price gouging you and actually play hardball like JFK did against the steel companies that were price fixing in the 1960s. Democrats have abandoned pretty much the few promises they made. $15 minimum wage, Biden abandoned. Public option, Biden abandoned. $2,000 checks, Biden abandoned. Biden and the Democrats pushed this messaging that he was the person who could get things done, and he's gotten a whole lot of nothing done, and basically used the excuse of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema when Biden could be fighting and could be publicly going on a political crusade against Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema and demanding they end the filibuster so Democrats could codify Roe v. Wade, pass real gun control, pass a $15 minimum wage, et cetera, without Republicans. Democrats, as inflation is skyrocketing, have literally given more money to the Pentagon than Biden even asked for. So I think Hillary Clinton has it twisted why Democrats are losing or why activists are not excited. It's not because we've made J.K. Rowling into a fascist, as Hillary Clinton said in this story. It's because the Democrats have not actually materially changed people's lives with complete power. And sure, you could say, well, they don't have a real majority because of Manchin and Sinema. Well, if the president cannot make Manchin and Sinema fold, and if Democrats cannot do anything to actually, use the bully pulpit of the presidency to make these two senators fold, and by the way, it's not just these two senators, then they don't deserve to win, and they don't deserve to lead. Not only that, but obviously Hillary Clinton, Biden, and the rest of the gang have been instrumental in, look at the chart, the massive bank robbery that has happened over the last 40 years, stealing our money and giving it to Wall Street, Hillary Clinton's donors, and the oligarchs. So it's just, I don't think she actually believes what she's saying. I think she knows Democrats aren't losing because of these cultural issues. I think she knows she didn't lose because of the Russian boogeyman. She lost because of NAFTA. She lost because of trade deals where Bill Clinton and the Democrats that she supported sold our jobs to Mexico, China, and elsewhere. Democrats are losing because they're not even looking like they're fighting to bring down inflation, which again, Biden can bring down inflation by going after the oil companies, by publicly saying, oh, you guys are doing well. We don't think you particularly need these hundreds of millions of dollars in subsidies the government gives you every year. And, we're going to have special IRS enforcement actually look into the taxes you're not paying. You will see the oil companies lower prices real quick. And we're printing money for Ukraine. We're printing money to give Biden more money to the defense budget than he even asked for. Why can't we print money to give Americans right now checks or monthly debit cards to help afford gas? So they don't have to cut essential needs elsewhere, or they don't have to be rationing essential needs to afford gas. Democrats can be doing that. So, yeah, as usual, Hillary Clinton has it wrong. And I'm sure when the Democrats are on the losing end of a political bloodbath in November, just wait for Hillary Clinton to come after the woke progressives who made us lose because they focused on transgender youth. And that's how you know Hillary Clinton honestly was never even truly for gay marriage. She was against gay marriage. She came to be for same-sex marriage before she wanted to run for president. So her, wrongly, by the way, politically wrong, pretending that it's us being woke on transgender issues or us focusing too much on transgender issues, rather than you haven't given a damn thing to the people while having power. Classic Hillary Clinton. But we also have to fold Bernie Sanders into this. I'm not part of the Bernie's a fraud crowd, but I am, you got to call it like you see it. Bernie, too, has not fought hard enough against Biden and the Democrats. Bernie, before the 2020 election, very clearly stated, let's get rid of Trump and we'll fight Biden on day one. Well, we're almost 2 years now into Biden. Bernie's not fighting Biden. Bernie has chosen to play the inside game. Bernie has called the 1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that Biden did the biggest biggest government action since FDR. I don't know how that's possible. Bernie knows his history. FDR actually passed things that created structural change, created permanent programs. Everything in coronavirus relief package, although there were great things in it, were all temporary. So Bernie has not fought. And Bernie, again, is basically taking it to, corporations, oil companies, et cetera, but not to Biden. Here is him over the weekend speaking at a conference, quote, during this pandemic, during the breakdown of supply chains, during this terrible war in Ukraine, what the corporate world has done is use all of that to substantially raise prices in America, Sanders told the crowd, going on to say he wants to pass a quote, windfall profit tax on these crooks. I mean, I'm with you. And Bernie Sanders said that, by the way, in Chicago, praising Starbucks and Amazon workers who were trying to unionize. He spoke at a rally in Chicago, fighting back against corporate greed rally with the Teamsters and flight attendants unions. Hey, that's great. I'm with you, Bernie. We should pass a windfall tax on these crooks. We should have the IRS actually look into why they're not paying taxes in the first place. Hey, maybe we should go a little further and revoke their subsidies that the U.S. government, Biden and Republicans give them. It's great that you say this at a rally. Can you not go on TV, hold a rally outside the White House, hold a press conference, and demand that the president lead on this? Demand that Biden, your friend, leads on this. Where is that? It's not enough to tweet out or speak at a rally calling for the right policy. You need to activate the base and put a pressure campaign on the president. That is nowhere to be found by Bernie, and it's nowhere to be found by AOC and the squad. So we don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. I reject people that call him a sellout and a fraud and a coward. I don't think that is realistic or the truth. I think Bernie has done a lot for the progressive movement, But for whatever reason, in his final years as a politician in the Senate, he has chosen to play the inside game and be diplomatic to Joe Biden. I'd be okay with that if it was actually yielding results. It's not. Bernie has decided to be diplomatic, to say the president's doing a good job. Now he has come out saying he will not challenge Biden in 2024 if he runs, and he will support him. For what? What have you gotten for it? Seriously, what has Bernie gotten for this? Why can't Bernie come out? Hey, there's a lot of people right now calling him a sellout, calling him a fraud. If he came out and did the things I'm saying, got out there, specifically went at Biden, specifically demanded Biden do these things. Give people a gas card right now. Take it to the oil companies, revoke their subsidies, IRS enforcement on the taxes they're not paying. Call out Biden for not doing it. Hey, call out Biden, President Biden, you're the president. We need you to lead. We need you to persuade and pressure Manchin and Sinema to vote to remove the filibuster. And why are you not doing that? Why are you not using the bully pulpit of the presidency? Bernie publicly called out Obama several times when Obama was president, and even basically leaked to the media that he was considering primarying Obama in 2012. Why not Biden? Because he's your friend, or because he was nice to you in the Senate when other people were not nice to you? I mean, I get relationships, and Bernie's a human, and maybe Biden was nice to him. Well, Biden's not being very nice to the working class of this country. Biden and the Democrats right now are doing massive fundraisers in Chicago, the Bay Area, New York, D.C., with Wall Street vultures with special interests, while real people are literally having to pay $80 to $100 to fill up their car while they're driving a half hour to hour for work. So now is the time. I get it. Some people will say, well, Jordan, if he does that, he's going to help the Republicans. Help them how? They're already on a path to have a political bloodbath in November, retake the House, possibly the Senate. Maybe if Bernie does this, he will shame Biden into acting, and Biden acting and fighting or appearing to fight might rally more Democrats to come out and vote for Biden's party. Just a thought. So we can't let Bernie off the hook here either. It's great that he's calling for these windfall tax. Maybe he should use his opportunities on CNN, on the Sunday shows. He could hold a press conference. He could activate the base to rally outside the White House. He's still got it. He's still got it at 80 years old. He could activate the political base. He's not doing it. So he needs to be called out for not doing it. And my dog agrees if you hear my dog barking. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.